But we're fighting in this country for equality, but you don't show equality.
Yeah.
How in the world could you
Yeah.
fight for something
Totally.
you don't show?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to fight for something, darn it, don't you think I need
Yeah.
to display
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. This is episode 205 of the Token CEO podcast. We've got Deirdre here for the beginning. We're going to do 4 things today. We'll go through the boardroom. So we'll talk about Deirdre's departure from Barstool. We'll get into Q&A. So we have, I think, 3 questions. We've got Dana Beers and Deion Sanders joining to talk about Coach Prime. And then we'll close the show out with Close of Business, which is my reaction to trending news. So Deirdre. Sad. It's
I know.
the end
I'm
of
going to
an
try
era.
really hard not to tear up
The
and
end
get
of an
emotional
era.
here.
All right. What was Barstool like when you got here?
Oh my gosh. I've been here now like close to 4.5 years, which feels like a long time.
Yeah.
And I've been reflecting this week a lot and talking to everybody on, my exit conversations about like where we were then and where we've gotten to now. And it is completely different.
That's wild.
And
Yeah.
every 6 months here has been completely different. But to reflect all the way back to that point in time where we were in the old office, I came in, I'm not sure what number employee I was. Someone asked me that and I was trying to figure out. It was in like the somewhere between 50 and 70
Yeah,
range.
probably.
You guys had just gotten these cute like zip
yeah.
ups with everyone's
The holiday
employee
gift.
number on the
Yeah.
back. And it was like a controversial, like, I came before that person.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I just think, we were really early stage and
Yeah.
there was a cast of characters that had been here a long time with Dave. In terms of personalities and content and producers, and then there was like a whole new cast
Yeah.
that you were bringing in from the business side. And then, you look at that team, like I started running, the sales team at that point, and there was like 5 people, 3 sellers, a couple of support folks, and now we're over 60 people.
Yeah.
So it's grown tremendously, and there's been people that have come and gone during that time, obviously. So it's been a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Not only the brand and the audience and the revenue, but just the sheer number of people that we've had here, some that have lasted the entire time and some that have been here for stints. But thinking about that is overwhelming.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. So I think we were doing, like $10 million? We probably had 5 partners. Beer and betting was basically the business.
Well, it was not even betting then because sports betting wasn't legal. It was the daily fantasy brands were here, definitely beer, and then a lot of DR. And I actually looked at the numbers. 2017 was like under $6 million. We grew in the first year. We grew 389% our ad revenue. So we brought in some blue chip brands. We built around the beer partnership that was in place. And we really kind of started selling, selling more brand advertisers into what was predominantly a direct response medium, which was podcasting. And then, bringing more holistic partnerships to life. And that was a slow process, but you look at like where we were then.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. We never had an automotive company. We never had a financial service.
Right.
I mean, we didn't even have brand advertisers. I remember doing
and
a lot around brand advertisers.
Totally. And it's a different approach, like how you go talk to those brands, what you bring them in terms of research and audience information and measurement tools to show the impact of the advertising, because you can't necessarily translate a podcast ad read into how many people went into a store and bought body armor. You need to show brand lift and purchase intent and sentiment. Those were just different skills that took different types of partners, different vendors, different types of people. And a new approach. And it's been working. I mean, back then there was, again, one blue chip advertiser, which was Anheuser-Busch. We had no 7-figure advertisers, and everybody's money was predominantly in audio. And now we have over 31 partners spending up in that 7-figure range. We have, blue chip advertisers from so many different categories. You mentioned auto, like that's one that I'm super proud of, with Chevy and now Dodge coming on board and Toyota coming on board. So there's just... and the financial services category is really starting to take off. So
CPG.
Yeah.
What do you feel like in looking back over the 4 years? Like, what do you feel like the greatest accomplishment was, and what do you feel like you didn't? Do you have any regrets? Like, is there anything you wish you got done but you didn't?
I'll take the first part. The greatest accomplishment is the growth. I mean, the revenue growth has been staggering. I think it's matched the brand growth and audience growth that the company has had. So keeping up with that is crazy, because this brand and this company grows like wildfire on, you know, social media, new platforms, that it's hard to keep up from a business perspective.
For sure.
And to be able to do that, I feel like that's been one of the greatest accomplishments. And that's been a testament to not only my team, but all the different teams within Barstool that support that effort on the business side. And that can be finance, it can be product and data. It's so many different parties that come together to make that happen. And, you know, that to me is a great accomplishment. And the legacy I leave behind is that is going to continue on that trajectory, and that the team is here in place to kind of continue to run with that ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, the uniqueness of some of our larger partnerships. I mean, I think we've cracked a new code that other media companies are now looking at and trying to replicate. And we just have leveraged all the different areas of our business that are working and powerful, and tried to bring them together for some of our larger partners.
Yep. And then what do you think? What have you not gotten done?
Not gotten done. You know, I think that like there's so much more to do here. Yeah. So it's not personally what I haven't achieved. Yeah. It's more that like what I won't be here for that the team will go on and achieve. Yeah. So, you know, I think continuing to get, you know, more diversified, not only in the key advertiser categories, but just in the what the sponsors are selling and how we integrate the brands. I know you've been talking a lot about like how do we take it up a level in terms of creativity. Yeah. Like we've been so creative and so like I think we integrate brand advertisers in a way that nobody else is willing to do. I think the next level of that could be really interesting and really continue to separate Barstool from the pack. And so it's not a didn't achieve it. It's just like that's what's coming next, and I'll be watching from the outside looking at it.
All right, so what are you worried about for Barstool? Or do you have worries?
I'm not worried about Barstool in any way. I think that, you know, the next level of growth is going to be challenging in ways that, you know, will be different than the past. But, you know, if there's any company that can kind of weather, you know, the next level of change and growth, it's Barstool Sports, and the team that's here are, you know, well suited to achieve that as well. So I don't have any worries necessarily.
I feel like it's such a good opportunity where, like, I've obviously been thinking about it so much, where it's like, I think a couple things. One is that you are right. Like, we are a company that changed every 6 to 7 months, really 6 to 9 months. 30 to 40% of the management team would shift. You are like one of the only ones that have been, you know, that have gone from the 10 million mark to the, you know, 200 million mark. And I've been thinking about that. I think the pandemic is like we didn't have enough change during the pandemic. Everyone hunkered down. And so as a result, I think part of the great resignation, right, is that it's pent up demand for change. And we're experiencing that, obviously. But I also think it's like such an awesome opportunity to kind of reshape things. And I think you've left a team that's so strong and committed, and everybody's fired up for the challenge, and there's 1,000 ideas. And we've also brought like new people in here who are just like whipsawed, you know, like second day of like, hey, your boss is leaving, but how do you think we should do things? So,
I think for me, like, I'm excited for the people who have been working underneath me and for me for a long time to have an opportunity to step up. And I'm seeing that over the last 3 or 4 weeks that people have known I'm moving on, is that they're rising up. They're taking the reins. You know, they're asking a lot of the right questions. And I think that, you know, my moving on there'll be some
it's a great opportunity for them
of that. Yep. And then there's some new people, to your point, like the day I had the call up with my team, Monday of President's Day, to tell my direct reports that I was leaving, and I was like bawling on the phone. But, you know, there is a new person, Rob, who's literally like I started last Monday to work directly for you. Like his job description is like right-hand person to the CRO. So, you know, he's a little shell-shocked, but also, again, just jumping in, rising to the occasion. So it feels good. As sad as it is, as hard as it is to leave, I feel really good about leaving the way I'm leaving the
for
place.
Sure. I agree. It's kind of interesting because I've been thinking about it in the departures we have. Like there's the, hey, my team's in a great place. yes, there's going to be things that fall through the cracks. Yes, there are things that aren't going to be the same. Yes, there's going to be problems, but there's a structure that works. So that's like scenario 1. And then scenario 2 that we're dealing with is just like heroics. And I actually been thinking about this so much, where it's like heroism, I don't know how to say this the right way, is really dangerous and bad when you don't build a team underneath you and you insist on doing everything yourself. So like we're kind of looking at some of the groups here, and it's like, God, like everything was just a Herculean effort by one person.
Yeah.
And there's nothing underneath it. And then there's all the underlying issues of why was that such a Herculean effort? And then is that team, are they set up for success? Do we have the right people in the right chairs? And then there's the third of just like mail it in, like complete lack of care. Like my thing for you is I think you're going to leave and you're like still going to be working on Barstool Sports stuff. Like I know this is what's going to happen. You're going to be like, wait, you forgot about this thing, versus like not caring on your way out. People will always have something to say about people leaving. But I think leaving something in a great place is like the best. That's one of my biggest learnings from all of this, is like leaving something in a great place is really a great gift, and it's a great gift to yourself, because that's what people will remember.
Yeah. I mean, one of my mentors that I talked to a lot about this decision to make this shift said that to me, said they're not going to remember what you did, they're going to remember what you didn't do. And I was like, oh shit. So I've literally been trying to do everything I didn't do in the last 3 weeks, and also to go around and make sure I sit down with all the key stakeholders across my team, but also even the sales reps. I'm meeting with the account manager groups. I'm meeting with, the folks in finance that helped me achieve my goals, and trying to just make sure that I leave with everybody's confidence and respect, because that's what I've like worked so hard for here. It would be really disappointing to find out like I left, one thing untied, and it became like the memory of me that people have on my way out. And you're right. Like I'm always working for Barstool.
Yeah.
So,
no, I love that.
And I also think, I don't know why, but I think you're like this as well. Like I've become a little bit of a career counselor for some people here, because we have a lot of young people that we've given so much responsibility for. So there's like a woman on my team who I love, who's a workhorse here, and has having this opportunity to rise up. And I was like, well, since we're at Barstool, I tell you that if I could make you a T-shirt, it would say, in order to grow, you have to let go. You can't do everything. You have to give it to your people. And I think that's, I've tried to empower my people to be successful so that I can rise up. And I think that, that's something hopefully that trickles down into the teams.
I agree with that. I agree. I also agree with the saying goodbye thing, and just there's closure in that. The other thing I think, like I've been thinking about this, is like the rubbernecking of like of past Barstool employees. Like my hope for anyone who leaves Barstool is that like you go do bigger and better things. You go chart your future, and it's like, it's kind of like make the most of where you are, take the most from where you came from, and go figure out the most of your future, And I think this place is weird like that because it is so emotional. And there's something strange about this workplace, that it is that emotional.
But I'm so proud of everything this company has achieved. I mean, even yesterday, my son broke his hockey stick and had to go get a new hockey stick. And my husband was up in like some place in Stamford, pure hockey.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole place was like
Barstool.
Spit and Chiclets and merch. He's like, this is insane, this display. He's like sending me pictures. I'm like, it's awesome. It's awesome to see that infiltrate not only, what I do at work, but into my personal life as well. And so many people, even outside of my work circles, identify me with Barstool.
Totally.
So I think we all experience that.
You'll always take that with you.
And it speaks volumes about how big and influential this brand and the brands within the brand have become. Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah.
So Erika's talked about a little bit on her podcast, so any of her real listeners know that I'm moving on to a new role. I'm super excited about it, and I'm going to be stepping up into a CEO position. So I'm curious if you, as someone who came here and has had, like just groundbreaking success here, has any advice for someone who's kind of stepping into a role. And I think that would be something I think not only I would love to hear, but I'm sure a lot of your listeners would care about that answer as well.
I mean, I think you have it. Like, I think you have to care more than anything. Like, you've got to want to win. I think it can be so scary. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about you taking a CEO job and what I felt like here, and I was, terrified, excited, stressed out, panicked, high anxiety, and then most of all, just excited. Like I just was so excited. So, I think my thing is you've got to get young people around you. Young people make everything happen. Like it's great to have seniority and expertise and experience, but great companies are built with young people. So that would be my first one. I think the second one is it's almost like you got to focus. You'll be good at this because your sales is so quantifiable, but you've got to focus on small, short-term things that you can accomplish and problems to fix versus like more existential. The existentialism of it, I found. Like, I remember like talking to the Chernin guys early, and it was like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And I was like, I'm just trying to make a P&L and like have desks for people, which is tactical and feels like an inferior answer, but it was like, our business was built brick by brick, and I think the brick by brick of it all matters. You obviously have to fake it till you make it. Like you're just going to bullshit your way through half of it, like everybody does.
I mean, even just saying goodbye to everybody, it's been a reminder each and every meeting of like the resources we've built here over the 5+
so
years
many
that we've
resources
been here.
now.
Like we still need more every day, but we have so much, and I'm going back to like nothing, literally nothing. So
I envy that.
I guess, is there something that you would say you did early on that you were like that, if looking back, that was like key to your success? Whether it's a hire or just a decision you made early on that really
think
helped.
that just empowering really smart, hungry people to run with things was, I think, the single best thing. And then just focusing on the brand first, and the brand and the product first, and the money after.
Anything you'd do differently in those first year to 2 years?
Anything I would do differently. I would have been stronger. Like I wouldn't have launched Barstool Gold. I wouldn't have pursued television. I think what's hard, especially as a woman in a startup and as a CEO, is you can feel a lot of pressure there's something in us. Like, I'll give you like me and Dave. Like Dave is like, somebody texts Dave what Dave or I think is a stupid idea. Dave is like, fuck off, or ignores it. And I'm like, hey, I got your text. Like, let me tell you what I think about that. And then it's just time. Do you know what I mean? So like being really strong, being strong with your investors. Prior to Barstool, I had like I felt like I had investors that were just on my neck, and I was on my heels all the time. And that's why I left. And I feel like that was my biggest mistake, is that I let the investor think that they were operators, and I made myself in service of that, too deferential. And it's easy to say now. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, but
Of course, yeah.
You have to be like, this is the vision, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. I think for us, I feel like we were so lean for so long. I would say the other thing I would do differently is I made change always 6 months too late. We needed things to change 6 to 8 months before they actually changed. And that 6 to 8 months can be very damaging. Yeah. So like just getting ahead of that. And then, like the Peter Chernin advice, like you have to fire quickly, and you have to embrace conflict.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things I've learned here is like you've pushed me not only to work hard and bring on a lot of people and move faster, but just like think differently outside of like traditional ways of doing things that the industry is just kind of set in their ways. Like we just don't conform to those industry standards. You don't, Dave doesn't. And I think that it's kind of been something that I've constantly had to push myself to think outside of the way everybody else is doing things. And I think it's why we've had the success we've had.
Totally. And everyone here has been the best people here have been so open to that. The other thing I think is that you're going to fuck up. Like it's a mathematical certainty you're going to fuck up. So you just got to be like, I'm going to fuck up. Like, I remember hiring people like who lasted like a week. And I was like, fuck, I made a bad hire.
Yeah.
Calling the audible on making a mistake is a great
Yeah, I've had a few of those
things.
too.
Definitely, yeah.
And that is something I've learned from you. And I've definitely looked back and been like, I knew in like week 1 that Erika knew this wasn't the right fit, and I let it go on for like 6 months.
It's easy
to
it's like
hard.
You want to do the right thing.
And smart decisions faster, I think, is even if they're hard.
Totally,
is definitely important.
But you'll be great.
Awesome.
You'll be amazing.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah.
I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's like been amazing. Again, I'm so proud of the work that we've done and all we've accomplished, and the opportunity to work with you and with Dave and the entire cast of people here, both business and content, has been beyond the expectations and a career opportunity of a lifetime. I just have to say thank you.
Oh, I remember the first night I met Deirdre. I've cried enough in 2022. I'm not crying anymore. 2021 and 2022 adjacent. What was I going to say? Oh, I met Deirdre. So do you remember when we met in Grand Central?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, I was so hungover.
Yeah.
I was I was either hungover or like horribly stressed out. No, I wasn't hungover. I was very stressed out because ESPN was firing us.
Yes,
that week.
yeah, exactly.
And Deirdre looked so put together. She had like leather pants and she was beautiful and her hair was great and she was so articulate. And I was like, oh God, I just want her. And then I was so happy when you joined. And I feel like we've just been on like such a run. It's been awesome. And I'll always will be a champion. And I'm so excited for you. And hopefully we'll work together again.
We will.
So, all right, that was Deirdre. Deirdre's peacing out. I'm excited for her and all of her adventures, and she's done amazing things here, and I'm actually most excited for all of the things we will do in the future and all the people who are part of that team and everything that they'll take on, which will be great. For anyone who cares about Work Like a Girl, Deirdre obviously does, we are launching a sister brand. So our sister brand is going to be Work Like a Girl. It will be a radio advice show, except that it's not on the radio. So imagine if Carrie Bradshaw worked in business and was answering your questions about work. This is going to be a little bit like that. It's going to launch only on Apple, and it will be for subscribers. We're trying to figure out how to give everyone an NFT if they subscribe to Work Like a Girl. So be on the lookout for Work Like a Girl, the podcast on Apple, and that's coming soon. Before you get there, if you have extra money lying around, so you funded your retirement, you have insurance, you're like going to the doctor regularly, you're paying off your credit cards, or you're just sitting on piles of cash, I don't know, whatever your situation is, you may want to think about investing in art. Okay, so little known fact, women are actually better investors than men. If you look on average at women's investments versus men's investments, they tend to turn out better. I don't think that's shocking at all. MasterWorks is one of the ways women can democratize their art portfolio and their art investments, or ways that they can think about investing their money in different types of assets. So you can do Robinhood or stocks, you can do bonds, that's not very interesting. You can do mutual funds, you can invest in businesses, all that kind of stuff, or you can own a share of a Picasso. So MasterWorks is the first company to fractionalize blue chip art. So if you are part of MasterWorks, and there are over 300,000 investors who are, you can own shares representing an investment in a multi-million-dollar piece of art by icons like Monet, Picasso, and Banksy, and you can do it without breaking the bank. So if you want to join the 300,000 investors investing in art, go to masterworks.art/token. That's masterworks.art/token. And you can see very important disclosures at masterworks.io. Disclaimer. All right, so before we get into the episode, I just want to give a shout out to Hannah Valente. So shout out Hannah. Courtney McNerdy, one of our favorite token listeners, tipped us off that Hannah also listens to the pod, and she is the youngest female NBA agent in history. So good for Hannah. So that is working like a girl. So shout out to Hannah. And we're so excited for her, and we can't wait to see what she'll do. Okay, so we're doing Q&A. Here is the first question we've got. I was recently offered a dream job in a career field that I've been trying to get my foot into the door of for years now. The only issue is that the job is over an hour and a half away from where I live. In today's new world of hybrid work schedules, is it acceptable to ask to work from home for a few days a week in order to make this job more feasible? And if so, what's the best way to ask my employer without sounding like a snob who doesn't want to go into the office 5 days a week? Looking at the job description repeatedly, it appears that I can perform all my responsibilities remotely. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Okay. So first of all, as a person with an hour and a half commute, my sympathy on this question is low. That said, I get it. Nobody wants to go into work anymore. And my advice on this is, personally, I think if this is your dream job and if it's in a field that you've been trying to get into, you need to suck up the commute. And then over time, you'll be able to spend less time commuting and you will earn the right to work from home. But really, I think you're at a crossroads in terms of, do you want your lifestyle to be what you want your lifestyle to be? Or do you want your dream job in a field that you've been dying to get into? And sometimes the two don't go together. And so I personally would just ask the question of, what's the culture like? Do people work from home? Do people work in the office? Who does what? And I would ask it in a way that's quite generic. That way you don't come off as a snob and people don't make judgments on you. But it also will inform your decision. And then I think ultimately you're going to have a decision about, is your quality of life more important than pursuing the dream job? Or if your dream job is something you want to pursue and sacrifice the quality of life for a little bit and hopefully earn it back later. And there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer on that. Second question, how do you find the balance between not caring what people think while still having self-awareness at work? One is self-awareness and not caring are two totally different things. So being self-aware means, hey, I understand how I come off to people. I understand how I can appear to people. I understand how I make people feel. Being self-aware is something that I think everyone can work on at all times. How do you control your emotions? How do you control your reaction to situations? How can you be more thoughtful or nuanced about how you make other people feel? And how can you be more introspective and less emotional about how people feel about you? I think you should care that people respect you. I think you should care that people feel that you do your work or you bring certain perspective to the table, or you're smart or you're capable, or you're committed or passionate, that you are positive. I would care about those kind of things. Where I kind of go crazy is when people think you should be a certain way at work. And that's the environment that drives me nuts. And those are the instances where you have to stop caring what people think, because they're not caring for you in your best interest. What they're caring about is the status quo, or how things should be done, or the way things have always been, or what their opinion is of an opportunity or an instance at work, or a way something is done. So I would always work on being self-aware. I'm trying to work on being more self-aware. As it relates to caring what people think, I think the most important thing in caring what people think is, whose opinion do you actually care about and do you respect? And I would focus on those people and those people alone. If you don't respect people, if you think people are bad at their job, if people are self-destructive or toxic or cliquey, I would spend as little time as possible caring about what those people think, because ultimately those people don't care about you and they're not at work to help you. All right, 3, thoughts on being friends with your boss, getting drinks, going out, being actual friends. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? And what are the potential risks? Ooh, this is a tough one. One, I think it's hard. It's like, who do you fall in love with? Like, it's kind of hard. Chemistry is chemistry, and people connect and people don't connect. And being friends with people you work with is really natural and expected. And it's a really positive thing. I think if you're really good friends with your boss, I think about it. I worked for Joanne Bradford for 12 years. Joanne is arguably like one of the most important people in my life. She's the godmother of my children. We are actual very good friends, probably my best friend. Was it like that when I was working for her at Microsoft? Absolutely not. I was terrified of the woman. So I also think that life is a journey, and friendship is a journey, and work is a journey. So your relationship with your boss can change over time. I think the positives of being close with your boss are, you really get an inside look at what makes that person tick. You obviously like that person. You're endearing to that person. You've developed a relationship with that person. I think the downside of it is when you become really close friends, it's hard to be critical of one another. I think sometimes the work and the productivity can get lost and get sacrificed to friendship. And it also can create a bad relationship with your peers or with the people who work for you, where people start to put an asterisk around your performance or your bonuses or your rewards or your advancement because you're friends with the boss. So I would just be mindful of it. I think people should be friends with whoever they want to be friends with. But if you're going to develop a personal relationship with your boss, to just be cognizant of the downstream impact that can have on you and the people around you. One of the dangerous things if you are the boss is being really good friends with one person on your team and not close to anyone else. That undermines your authority. It undermines your leadership. I think people start to not respect you. If you're trying to establish leadership or you're trying to help a group move forward or you're trying to accomplish a task, being impartial can be really important, and being cognizant of how your relationship with every single person on that team affects the whole team can be really, really important. And that doesn't matter who you are or where you sit or who you report to or what the power dynamic looks like. All right, so this episode, we have two great interviews. One is with Dana Beers. So Dana Beers, I would call Dana Beers an original Barstool guy. He didn't work necessarily at Barstool at the time. He tells the story about how he worked for free for Hank for what felt like an eternity. Dana Beers joins us to talk about his journey here, how he got here, what he's learned here, what he likes about Barstool, what he doesn't like about Barstool, and why working on Coach Prime was such a special opportunity for him. Then we have Deion Sanders. So Deion Sanders was in the office last week. He did Pardon My Take. He went on Fallon and, of all things, talked about Dana Beers, which is electric. But Deion talks about his journey at Jackson State. He talks about the team. He talks about his mission around coaching and his belief in his own future and the future of the team. So here is Dana Beers and Deion Sanders. Okay, Dana B., who are you?
Who am I? Wow. I have two personalities, I would say. I have what most people see as Dana Beers, and then I have the Coach Prime Doc Dana B.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Let's go through each one.
Okay.
Who's Dana Beers?
Dana Beers is a personality created where I like to drink, which is who I am. Okay. I do enjoy drinking, so it's not all the way,
Dana Beers is a fun-loving, single guy with like a mattress on his balcony, just chugging beers.
Except not single now. I have a beautiful new girlfriend.
Okay, how's that going? Do you talk about it at work?
Not really. I mean, we kind of
here and there.
Is
she in the content game or no?
No, like she's
normal?
Yeah, she's very normal. She doesn't know a ton about Barstool.
That's
but
actually
she's
really
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'm in a great situation.
Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the mattress on the balcony thing.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I just love it.
I'm a sponsored sleeper.
Tell people what you do.
Okay, so honestly, this is the story. It's not really a crazy story. One day I was editing Coach Prime until about, no joke, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And honestly, I'm not just saying that. Because
no, I believe you've spent 6 months doing that.
And
probably longer,
Jen walked in, and I was literally, like, I had my head back falling asleep, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, did you stay the night? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, go home. Just go home and get some sleep. And so I walk into my apartment, and I'm laying in bed, and I feel the breeze coming through my window, but I have a nice view of the city from where I live.
Okay.
But I was like...
I'm sorry, do you live with other Barstool people?
I live with Marty.
You live with Marty?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We do our streams. We do our iCasino streams in my bedroom.
I'm big on the iCasino streams. Okay,
yes.
Yep.
So I was like, how can the breeze was amazing, but I was like, I don't really want to be inside a bedroom right now. I want to be like
fresh
outside,
air.
But I want to lay down. I just want to sleep, but I don't want to be sleeping in my room. So I took a picture of my balcony and was like, should I just move this out here? And everyone was like, yeah,
you have to do it.
So I moved it out there, and people started to love it, and I started doing the Dana Beers stuff.
Yep. So that's Dana Beers.
Yes.
And then did Dana Beers exist before he became content? Like, is this always part of, has Dana Beers always existed, or is he an invention for the internet?
In a way, like
Okay.
I would always, I'm 29 now, so I'm like starting to hit that
You're
spot where
hovering,
I'm
like,
like, all right, I
get
need to
your shit
relax
together.
a little bit.
Yep.
But I always would like,
Not quite there yet, though.
I know. I would always be with my buddies, and we'd always just like send videos of each, like chugging and like stupid stuff like that. And I'd always smash beers on my head just for fun, like well before I worked at Barstool. And I've always liked drinking responsibly, of course, but
And not gambling while you do it.
yes. And I was always like that, but it was never to the point where it is now, where people are like, I'll see someone and they'll just pass me a beer and like tell
now
me
it's
chug
pressure,
it with
yeah.
a camera in my face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't turn that down.
Yeah, no, you can't
I look
turn
like
that
an
down.
idiot.
All right.
But no, it's always been like, I like to have fun, obviously.
Okay. You
So
are a
it's always
fun-loving
been in
single
me.
guy.
Yes.
Not
No.
so single.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Not
Fun-loving
single.
guy. Okay. For people who don't know, describe how you got to Barstool.
Okay, so I was a fan. I lived in
Big fan.
I lived in Somerville, Massachusetts. Living in Somerville, and I was a stoolie. I had been reading probably since 2009, and this was 2016. And I had just started making videos of like compilations of Dave on the Rundown, and I don't know why. I thought it was funny. I made a video of him like making excuses, and that's still to this day like a pretty funny video that people bring up a lot.
We should toss to those.
Yeah, the excuse video is great.
Don't make excuses. That's not my MO. I just want to. You don't like that court? No, I'm playing full pass. I'm not an excuse type guy, but he's had like 30 games already.
I'm not making excuses, but I have, this is my traction right now. These are patent leather shoes.
I don't make excuses. Congratulations. My neck is in shambles. If I made excuses, I would bring that up. Fine. No excuses. I should have had that one. But my neck, goddamn. This is pushing me back. I was going forward. I was running faster than the treadmill. I'm not in it. My neck hurts. I'm being a hero by doing this for you. This, I can feel it all the way up through my brain.
And one day I saw that PMT was hiring an intern, and I hated my job. I was so bad at sales. I was so fucking bad.
Wait,
Can I
so
swear?
you were in sales? Yes, you can swear.
Yeah, I was in recruiting. Like,
Okay.
So I would try to get people jobs. Me, this
Yeah.
22-year-old idiot that would show up hungover all the time.
Dana Beers was trying to get
people's
people
lives are
employment.
in my hands.
Okay, yep.
And in my head, I was like, I'm so bad at this. I don't like bothering people. I don't like cold calling people. I don't like the feeling of people's resumes in my hand, because I shouldn't be a thing at 22. So I applied to be the PMT intern, and I just worked for free for like 3 months.
And then before that, describe the Milton's thing.
The Milton's thing, that was, oh my God, that's a throwback. I won Milton's Pimp My Look twice. So that was like when you had really bad style, your friends would send you to Barstool.
Yeah.
And Milton's would hook you up and give you $500 worth of merch. And I won twice. The first time wasn't good enough.
It's
The
amazing.
second time helped. I had some
You
suits.
were one of those guys to come into Barstool. I kind of think of like you and Devlin the same a little bit, where you came in so creative, so hungry, so happy to be here. No clothes, no money.
Oh, I slept in the office when I first
like
got
on
there.
this couch, I think.
Yep.
And it was like one of the most endearing times ever, because everything was possible and nothing had taken shape yet.
That was I look back on that time very fondly.
Same.
Like 2017. When
Same.
that
It was
new
really
office,
special. Yeah.
It was right after the churn and stuff, and it was just like
It was a magic time.
it felt like the right amount of people. It was
Yeah.
50, 60 people. It was just so fun.
It
But
was so fun.
anyways, I got so Hank. I was sending all my work to Hank for like 3 months for free, and eventually, I love telling this story because I don't know what happened. I got an email from you because I was like, Hank, I can't work for free anymore. I have no money.
This cannot
I quit
go
my
on.
job.
Yeah.
I have to. I don't know what to do. And then I texted him. I said, I can't do this anymore for free. And then I got an email from you saying, sorry, right now we're not offering a job. Like, maybe we'll look back in a few weeks or whatever. And I texted that to Hank. Didn't hear from him for about 2 hours. Then I got a call from Dave Portnoy. Just, here's your offer. Like, What did Hank do in
Yeah,
those
what
2
did
hours?
Hank
Like,
is
what?
magic.
I've never really asked him.
That's
I
so
just
funny.
think-
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. I think he must have started screaming at Dave. I don't know. 'Cause
He must have started screaming at
That's
Dave.
what he used to say. Is there was a lot of yelling matches over
Yeah, there
me,
were.
and I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I was like, why?
Huh. So Dave clearly told me no, and then
Yes.
Hank went in and yelled at Dave.
I think
and then...
Dave wanted me to do something different than PMT because that's when
Ah, there was
a little
tension.
thing there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And he wanted me to do something for him, and Hank wanted me for PMT. I was the original Liam.
Yes,
is what I was doing.
Bubba.
But then Dave wanted me for Stool Series.
Yes, I think
that's
that was
what
right.
I was.
So did you ever think in the Pimp My Suit, Milton days that you would be basically living with Deion Sanders,
No.
producing a documentary about a black college football team? Like, did you tell like?
I thought it was at 2013 when I thought I would be I didn't know what I would be doing. I thought I would be no offense to landscapers. I thought I was going to landscape my whole life. I enjoyed landscaping.
I could see you as a good
I know.
landscaper.
So I thought I was going to do that my whole life, and no, I had no idea. I honestly, to this day, I pinch myself of like there was one day I'll remember forever. I had to pinch myself literally because I was sitting on his lawn, Deion's lawn, and he was just like, "You don't have to do any work today. Just relax." And so I was just laying down tanning in Deion Sanders' lawn. Like, what am I doing?
Texas or in
Yeah,
Jackson?
in Texas.
That's a big lawn.
And I was like, what am I doing right now? What is life? So no, I mean, it's the same thing with Dave. Like at first I was like, I looked up to Dave as like this guy from Boston. I was like, this is such a cool guy. And at first I was like, this is not real life. And it still to this day is a lot of moments where you have to pinch yourself and be like, wow.
What's your advice to like the Dana B who's 22, landscaping, working in recruiting or an accountant or whatever? Like, what's your advice, but has a skill and a talent? Like, what's your advice to them?
I would say to, honestly, like if it's something you're passionate about, which for me it was production and like editing, I liked it, just do it. Just practice, like go on YouTube and learn stuff. No, I never took a class for this. I never took a class to teach me how to edit or like to teach me how to film. I'm not great at filming. I'm more better at editing, but just go on YouTube. Start looking stuff up. And if it's something you are passionate about and you like you don't need a teacher to tell you what to do. You don't need a professor. You don't need a professional. Like you can do it on your own. Mm-hmm. And once you start learning more and more, like, yeah, you can eventually hopefully get to where you want to be.
Which is where you are now.
Which is where I'm at. I love where I am right now.
Are your parents proud?
I think so, yeah.
I remember
They don't love the Dana Beers part, but
yeah, I could see
they
that.
love the Dana B part.
I remember I was trying to get you home someplace. Do you remember this?
Yes, you got me a rental car.
I did.
That
Why? Why was I feeling bad?
Because I don't know. I didn't have any way to get home.
I think you had no way to get home
Yeah.
and you had no money.
That was very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Very nice of you.
You deserved it. You're
That
so
was
special.
an Indy.
That was an Indy.
For the Indy 500 part.
Yes. And you were like, I don't know how I'm going to get home.
Yeah, that was.
And
I appreciated that.
I actually was. It was like 2 a.m. and I was like trying to coordinate how to get you a car service to go to the Cape.
I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Coach Prime returns.
Okay, let's do it.
What do you love about Deion Sanders?
Deion is everything you see on camera, and he's just like so down to earth. Like I was honest when I got sent down there, I thought I was going to be there for 2 days. That was the plan. And then I ended up spending probably 10 months in Jackson, Mississippi. He's just such like a real dude.
Yeah.
And he's just, as you know, like he won't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
He'll tell you how, if it's good or bad, he will tell you how he feels.
Yeah, he has a very clear point of view.
Yes. But I thought he was going to be like this intimidating guy that I wouldn't be able to get along with or talk to. Or from the first week, he treated Barstool like we were royalty. Yeah. The first team meeting with all the people, all the team, like he's meeting the team for the first time. He introduced me and Kelsey, and I think it was just me and Kelsey at that point. Like he introduced us to the entire team, like in front of the whole team. We're like, oh, okay, this guy
it
actually
intimidating?
likes us. Yes, because he pointed at me. I'm sitting there. He's like, tell us something about Barstool. I'm like, in front of 120 people.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And so I started talking, but he's very. He loves. You can tell he has genuine love for like the people that he cares about.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially at Barstool. So
I love that about Deion.
He is.
He is a pleasure to work with.
He is. And
Like temperamental and moody and all those things. Like he has the characteristics of someone who's deeply passionate, but also so much respect, so much care, so much commitment. What do you think makes him a great coach after having so much time with him?
It's the way he's able to connect with the guys.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that he's a Hall of Famer. That's a big part of it. Like, these guys look up to him as somebody that made it and is possibly the best at what they ever did.
Yeah.
Like, that in itself, they trust him. All the players, look up to him as an athlete. And also, he has the whole side of, like, he really is hard on him about school, too. Like, he is very serious about both sides of it. But I think they just look up to him. Like, a generational athlete, how would you not, see
How are
a
you not
coach and be
pinching
like,
yourself
yeah,
to
exactly.
be
So
like...
I think a lot of the kids know that they're in the situation that, like, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So just him being himself is, like, that's what makes him a coach.
Yeah.
It's just...
He's able to connect with people on, like, a really visceral level, and I think he loves that sport of football so much. Like, the passion for football is just incredible. So tell everyone here about the series.
Okay, so here's what's going down. We have everything that happened with his foot, which a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people have no idea what happened.
Yep.
Like, why was he out of coaching for a whole month?
Yep.
We are going to tell the entire story. They stuck me in the hospital with him to be filming everything.
Yep.
So you're going to see that. That's the number one thing that I think people are going to be interested in. But also, they won 11-2, so it's like a historical season. And we had probably 3 or 4 cameras every day. So it's like we didn't miss a single beat. And when he went out, we had cameras on the field and cameras in the hospital. So it's like we had, since day one, we were following his entire journey with this team, like, until they got to the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta, which is historical for Jackson State.
Yep.
And it's all the off-the-field stuff as well, with, like, developing these guys as young men. And Coach Prime is just, like, the best person to do that.
Yeah.
So you'll see all of it. Wallow and Gilly are in there a little bit, so that, there's
Gilly's
the Barstool
sideline run.
Barstool side of it. But it's awesome. It's honestly, the way I would put it is, if you like football, it doesn't matter if you don't know anything about Jackson State. Like, if you're a stoolie, wouldn't you watch Last Chance U or, like, Hard Knocks? Why wouldn't you watch this?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Deion in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's Hard Knocks or Last Chance U
Deion's,
times a million.
Yeah, Hard Knocks with the Barstool flavor.
Yes.
Are you so proud, like, just having grown up watching Hard Knocks, that you're like, I'm now making the future of Hard Knocks?
It's honestly very, like, I still don't. I don't know. See, I can't even put words because I don't know.
It's so awesome.
Like, sometimes I'll look at the final product and be like, how the hell did we do this?
Yeah.
Like, we showed up here in Jackson, actually a year ago, like 2 days ago, with me and Kelsey with a camera. And we didn't know what the hell we were getting into.
Yeah.
And now it's this huge thing
It's a
that's
production.
like, a lot of eyeballs are going to get on it. And I know Deion's crowd is going to watch, and the Jackson State crowd is going to watch. I need the Stoolies to watch.
You need the Stoolies to watch.
I need the Stoolies to watch, because I know it's not a typical Barstool production. It's not. It's something that might be a little different. But it's football, and it's Deion.
Let's go, Dana.
Watch the fucking doc.
That's an impassioned pitch. Okay, so that's amazing. Watch the doc. You can watch it only on Barstool Sports. What do you like most about Barstool and least?
Whew. All right. Most, it's kind of like a common answer, but freedom. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do in January. I had finished up some projects with Caleb, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I was trying to think of my next move. And then someone said, like, I think it was Sean, was like, do you have any interest in doing this Deion thing? And I was like, what Deion thing? Just go down and shoot him arriving at school? And
I
he's
can
like,
do that for 2 days.
He's like, yeah, it might be a little longer than that. But, like, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it, and, like, just make the most of it. And I was like, all right, let's fucking do it. And it's the best like, thing I could have ever done. So honestly, it's the freedom of, like, no one's over my shoulder really telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. It's more just like, Dana, we trust you to do this. Like, here's your vision. Go out and do it.
Yep.
That's the best part. The least, all right. Sometimes the unpredictability can be tough.
Okay, yeah.
Like, when
chaotic.
I'll have plans for a weekend, and then it's like, hey, you got to go fly here for this shoot.
Yeah,
which is fine.
That's irritating.
The unpredictability can be a little tough, but it's not something I would complain about. It's just, it can definitely be frustrating sometimes. Other than that, I think there is, I don't love like certain aspects of people like asking for promotion and shit, and like just if I were to give advice to people that are new here, just like pick up your phone and do shit. Anything I've ever done in content, I've never asked for a camera. I've never asked for, you know, somebody to really like pick up, like produce it. It's like, here's my phone. I'm just gonna be an idiot and post it on the internet. Sometimes there's people here that can be like really reliant on like asking for a million resources and asking to do, I don't know, just do it yourself. Anything I've ever done, it's like zillion beers. The golf, I used to do golf stuff. I would just pick up my phone and film myself. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I think people like about us. Like, that's the content I think people enjoy the most. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes at Barstool, people can get a little
It's like we gave too many crutches. I think we gave
sometimes
too many
people
crutches.
think they're entitled to
they're
entitled to something that they're not.
Yeah,
so,
and it also makes worse content.
Yes. So that's what I would say. I know we're trying to clean that up a little bit. Yeah. And I'm hoping we can. It's just I wish we had more people that.
Were you in
mindset.
the production meeting that I went crazy on? What did you think about that?
It was interesting.
What did you think? Give me your honest feedback. How would you describe the meeting?
You were very blunt and honest, and I appreciated that because I think we need a lot more of that, especially in production and especially here at Barstool. I think we need a lot of just telling it how it is.
It was crazy to me being in that room, how everybody talks around everything. Is it like that all the time?
I try to stay out of like I said, I zero in on what I do.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to do my thing
which
and stay out of the
can
fray.
Also be frustrating because there's a million cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people kind of just like don't say what's
what they
on their
mean.
mind. And like for me, it's just say it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't say it, again, all right, I have something that I don't like about Barstool. I just thought of it.
Dana.
All right, meetings, okay? How many fucking people are there that just I don't know what they do. They sit in meetings.
I know, I don't like that
call
either.
It work? What is? You're just
I agree.
in a meeting.
I think
call me. Just pick up the phone and call me and tell me what you want. I don't gotta sit. You're wasting my time by sitting in this 35-minute meeting talking about nothing.
But okay, so I agree with that. I don't like when people. I think that if you don't contribute to a meeting, you should be kicked off the island.
Yes, like,
I'm instituting that actually starting next week.
Coach Prime, we have one meeting a week. Every Monday. Yep. We get everything out there, an hour. We get it out. If there's any questions after that,
you call me direct.
Call me.
Yep.
You text me.
Yeah.
The meetings, I can't believe I forgot that. It
I
makes me lose my mind.
So the meeting that I was in, the production meeting, did you like that meeting or did you not like that meeting?
That's a productive meeting because it's
we
like
actually said
we're
something.
getting all the shit out. And then after that, it's like, but do we really need 10 more meetings after that?
No, we don't need 10 more meetings.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Do your work. And just do it.
I love that. Just do it, Dana.
I sound like a dick, but
I think you sound
the
amazing.
meetings just get to me.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I'm kind of old school in that. I feel like me and Hank are very cut from the same cloth of like, we just do it.
Yeah.
Just do our work and like, we don't need, there's definitely downfalls to that attitude. Like, things can slip through the cracks, which I know.
You need people around. You guys,
yes.
It's like the 90% and the 10%. You guys are great, weird, creative brains. You're just going to get your shit done. You need people who can run the trains. You
Absolutely.
need somebody next to you like
Coach
that.
Prime, like the first season, there was a lot of things I was bad at. And this season, we have a lot of people that help me with that.
They do the stuff you're bad at, and they're good at.
Exactly. But I don't need to be sitting in meetings all day.
Don't talk about it all the time. I agree with that. All right, that's great feedback. Dana, thanks for doing this.
Of course. I love you, Erika.
I love you.
I love
You're
this
the
show.
best.
I love this company.
Okay, what do you think about this season?
It was phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. And we haven't even got to the part yet where all the tribulation comes. Because we're going to take you up, we're going to take you down. It's going to be a tearjerker, and then we're going to bring you back up again. Dana Beers is phenomenal. I don't understand how he could be Dana Beers and Dana Spielberg simultaneously. I don't understand where he gets, how he balances all of that. But he is phenomenal because he understands the feeling and the mode and the mood that I love and how the rhythm that we have at Jackson State.
And he captured it.
Oh, my God.
You know what he told us? So he's on this right before you, and he told us that he was at your house one day in Texas, and you said, Dana, you don't have to work today. Yeah. And he said it was like the best day of his life.
Yeah. It's like we'll sit and watch it in the movie theater, right? Because I like to hear the sound and all that, and I'll say, I'll stop. That was good. Then I say, start it back. Usually I'm like, okay, bring that up.
Yeah,
Give
change
me
that.
more of that.
Yeah.
Give me more of that. Let me flush. Let that sentence finish. And it wasn't a lot of that.
Huh.
It was.
Well, you're such a perfectionist. That's a big compliment.
But he got it. He got it.
He got it.
He's got it.
And how would you describe the team in this particular season? Like, how would you describe it?
It was a whole nother team, first and foremost, from the spring. I think we had 70. We got rid of 70 kids.
Yeah.
We had to. They weren't who we were.
Yeah. What made them not you?
Smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. You're not either smart, tough, fast, or disciplined, and no character. I have no usage for you.
Yep.
And you're not gonna reach your destiny and reach your goals. So let's just break this marriage up right now.
Yeah. Let's just call it.
Let's just call it, so I could get guys in here that I know that's going to do what we desire them to do. But they didn't have those intangibles, because those are guys that in the spring, they were already there.
Yeah.
And you just give me a bunch of guys and say, go play football with them. And
Okay,
then
so
I'm
the spring
them.
you were like, I got the hodgepodge.
Yeah.
I gotta make a soup out of this.
I got to make some gumbo.
You gotta make some gumbo out of
It's
this?
all kind of bull junk in the pole.
Yeah.
It's in the pot.
And we're just gonna turn the heat right up.
Matter of fact, give me some hot sauce. Let me throw some in
Yeah,
there, because
and
this
maybe
ain't
a little
enough.
more.
Yeah. Now I got my guys in that we recruited. Although all of them aren't what we want them to be, because we still didn't get an opportunity for many to go out there and sit in their homes and sit down with the parents and look them in the eye. So a lot of still Zoom recruiting.
Okay.
And Zoom recruiting is Zoom recruiting.
Sucks.
There you go.
Okay.
But we identified what we wanted, and we got it for the majority, but still we had some character issues.
Yep.
And we had to get that straight.
So do you feel that Zoom recruiting blocked the character piece,
Yeah.
like the sitting with the mom?
Yeah. Because if I'm sitting with the mom and dad and I'm sitting in a certain environment, I could see. I could
You're
connect
like, I know
the dots.
what's going on here.
And then I always go straight to the mama.
Okay.
Tell me about your son.
Okay.
See, daddy's gonna lie.
Okay. I'm with you on that.
Mama ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, this one right here
Is this one?
is right.
Yeah.
I said, well, tell me about the household, because you can't lie to me. I got 5 different kids.
Yeah.
I know all of them 5 different personalities, and all of them ain't good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
some of them are it's gonna be some problems.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some problems. If something happens at the house, I know who's getting the spanking
Yeah,
first.
that's right.
And everybody's trying to think that, they try to put the kids on an even keel, and it's not like that. No, I got favorites. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Are
everyone
you
does.
more like a mama? Like, I feel like if I were to ask you about Shiloh and Shador, you would give
I'm
it
a
to
dad.
me straight.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you straight, and I'm gonna tell you about them. And I know everything about my kids to the T, and I'm gonna tell you what's up. And be careful with him. Even when they meet girls, I'll tell a girl, look, that one right there, he's not gonna marry. Okay, this one right here, maybe. That one right there is not. Shador is more, and they're blossoming.
They are.
Oh my God, they're blossoming like
How are they together now?
better.
Okay.
They're still getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
Now I'm throwing them third one in. My daughter's coming to play basketball.
way.
Yeah, she just committed to Jack State to play basketball.
Awesome.
So now I'm making her go in the house. Now her and Shiloh's going to go at it. And Shador's going to be
Okay, so she and Shador are
they're
allianced.
good. They're good. They're better than her and Shiloh.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
You should have like Survivor.
Oh my God. it would be.
Sanders family.
You know what, Sam? We may need to sell a show.
We could do that show for you.
No,
That'd actually be a good
Let
show.
me tell you something. It's going to be
Dana
unbelievable.
Beers would love that.
Oh my God. That's going to be unbelievable having 3 kids on campus.
That's awesome.
Then my oldest son is probably going to come and do the social media for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a family affair.
Yes.
And how was JSU with you getting rid of the 70 kids and kind of, I felt that first season you were kind of feeling your
That's
way.
life. That's life.
That's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes. And they've learned how to allow me just to do my thing.
Yeah.
Just get out of the way.
Yep.
Let me do my thing.
And what do you, what's your hope for Jackson State?
That we evolve and we go to the next level in all extremities, but we got to focus on the business practices.
Okay.
All HBCUs now are getting better kids.
Okay.
Athletes, so to
Do
speak.
you think you were a harbinger for
Yes.
that?
Yes.
And you're seeing it around other HBCUs?
We were the Jackie Robinsons for that.
Okay, great.
And everybody's now getting better athletes at all HBCUs. But we got to change the business practices, because once they get on campus, they're going to say, hey, this ain't what you promised me. And we got to do better.
And what do you think the kids are looking for?
Safety. They're looking for love and compassion. direction.
Okay.
But kids now need a navigational system.
Yep.
That's what they rely on. We had a map.
Yep. Yep.
It's a little more difficult.
Yeah. Yep.
Now they push a button and it navigates them to where they want to go, and they need that in humans.
And how are you giving that to your team?
I give it to them every day because I was on all sides of the story. I've been the coach. I am the coach, the high school coach as well. I've been the kid that you're recruiting, and I've been the parent. And I am the parent. So I understand them from all facets, all phases of it. So I'm able to speak to all of it when I'm sitting down with parents and recruiting, when I'm sitting down with the kid, when I'm sitting down with the coaches.
And what do you think's going right and wrong with the kids and the parents?
Some parents are living vicariously through the kids. Some parents are babying the kids, and that tough love ain't like it used to be.
Yeah.
And because now we have something that's tremendous. Now we got to be careful of it, but it's called mental health.
Yep.
Okay, we didn't have that.
Yeah, 100%.
Knuckle
No one
up.
give a shit about your mental
There
health.
you go.
Like you're going to get spanked.
Get your butt in the back
Yeah,
of this car. Let's go.
100%.
Finish that homework.
Yeah,
and let's go
that's
get
right.
it. Well, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Ain't no time for that.
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little different, so we got to be cautious and careful of that. But it is what it is.
And do you give your team, like, I live by your daily truth. So for anyone who doesn't follow Deion, you should follow Deion. I get a text message from Deion really early. You're on the early game. So like I get it like 6:30, 7 a.m. And I think about it every day. Do you give the same thing to your, like, talk about that and talk about, do you give that to your teams too?
Yeah, my team gets those
They get
every
them
morning
too.
as
Okay.
well. And some kids will come and talk to me about it and want me to expand on it. Sometimes we'll open it up in the meeting room in the morning meeting at 7 a.m. and we'll expand on it. But just to give them guidance for that day. And that's what I try to provide, not only for my kids, but for people that I truly care about, like you and quite a few others. That it's just a little directory.
And do you know it the night before, or does
No.
it just strike you in the
Time
morning?
I get up in the morning.
Yep.
Every once in a while, maybe once in a month, twice in a month at the most, I would text myself something the night before because I don't want to forget that thought.
Yep.
But other than that, it's the feeling. It's the feeling that I have in my spirit.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then, so for the season ahead, you've gotten, you got
God.
the number one recruit. How is the current team going to handle that?
Well, they've handled it well because this kid is a workaholic.
Good kid. He has the
Great
character,
kid.
the
Has
discipline.
the character, has the discipline, has the want. We have a
Obviously
great
has the
relationship
talent.
with his parents. His mother just texted me this morning. I need you to sit him down and talk to him just about life.
Okay,
I said,
good.
I know what that means. I said, I know what that means, Mom. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I said, I promise you sent me a boy, you're going to get back a man. And
Okay.
that was my text back to her this morning. You're going to get a man back in 3 years. I promise you that. So these kids and the new kids, they have more character. And they're more of what we want because we're starting to understand who we really are as a team, as a school, as a unit.
Yep. And when you say you're going to send it, like, I think one of the things that's, like, I'll give you an example. I think you've changed Dana Beer's life.
Yeah.
I think Deion Sanders, believing in Dana Beers probably blows his mind on it several times a day. But I also think Dana Beers coming back from Jackson was different than the Dana Beers we sent in.
Yes. Yes.
So talk about, like, how do you nurture that in people? Or
You don't change a person's life or the way they move with words. You can enhance that, but you change it with life. So when he sits down and he has a close view of my life and how I move and the things I do and what I'm about, those type of things change people's lives because they see the consistency in your life and how you live, and they see what works and what don't works for people. And let me try to incorporate that. Then I reach out to Mama Beers. I just saw another Dana Beers. I saw the Barstools Dana Beers just moments ago. Yeah. I saw the Barstools Dana Beers.
Okay.
And I called Mama Beers. I said, I've never seen your son like this. She's like, please take him back.
100% put him back in Mississippi.
Take him back with you.
Do you have a spare bedroom?
Yeah. Dana is he's unbelievable, but now he has balance.
He
knows
does.
how to balance things, and he knows how to entertain. Like he has that thing. He has that it.
He has it.
Yeah,
don't
he
you
has
think?
it. Yes, he don't show it to us a lot because he's being Dana Spielberg with us.
Yeah.
But
He has
we've
it.
seen him hit the switch.
Okay, so now a year and a half in, what's your observation on Barstool? Like, how do you think Barstool's changed? Or do you think we have?
Barstool's evolving. It's evolving. I still think sky's the limit. I don't think you scraped the surface, but I mean you're running or racing. You're not sprinting. Now you're just kind of jogging and you're looking around. It's like a what you call those marathons. You know, a lot of people focus on marathons, but sooner or later, marathons you got to slow down a little bit and grab a little drink here. Grab a little drink.
Power pack. Yeah.
And re-energize yourself.
Yeah.
Then to say, okay, let me get back going. And sometimes you got to do that instead of just sprinting and trying to win.
I think we're in the look around place.
Yes.
Like, what's going to fuel us?
Fuel
Who do we
us?
want? Where are we running to?
Yeah, where are we going? What's the direction? Are we going to win this race? How are we going to win if we win? Because this guy's approaching pretty fast, but I know he doesn't have this, and I don't give a darn about my opponents. I care about us.
Yep. And what's going to be next for next season for you?
The sky's the limit. God is so unbelievable. Like, I would have never thought when you came to Texas, what was that, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
All this would have happened.
Legitimately 2 years
all
ago,
this
like right
would have
now.
happened.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you got to understand what has happened in 2 years has been darn believable. So I don't put brakes on anything that God can possibly do. I just think the sky's the limit. It's going to go, and go. Because I hear that voice and I'm following a navigational system, but that don't lose.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to win. We just got to keep going. I just think the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
If you could think it, you could do it. You could have it.
You know what else I loved is that I was talking to Dana about how the first day that our crew was down there. So I think everyone's like, Barstool Sports, JSU, Deion Sanders. Like, how the hell does this? How do these things go together? I think they go exactly together, right? Like different people, different backgrounds, different perspectives, different jobs, but all a role on a team.
A role.
He was saying how you introduced the Barstool people, and they felt so intimidated, and they couldn't believe you introduced them. And it's just like I thought that was just a really incredible thing.
That's family.
Yeah, and I think everybody's got to show up.
You got to understand now. That's family, but in that environment, people would think, "Nah, that's not right. He shouldn't do that." I don't give a darn what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have a Caucasian woman that's my head trainer. I have an African American woman that's my head equipment person. I had a director of operations that was a woman. So I'm against the grain.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a multitude of several Caucasian coaches. Now, when you watch your HBCU game, you sit up there and say, that's different. But we're fighting in this country for equality, but you don't show equality.
Yeah.
How in the world could you fight for something you don't show?
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to fight for something, darn it, don't you think I need to display
Let's
it?
do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. So people understand the fight. And that's family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I introduced the Barstools family, I'm like, guys, do you understand people wouldn't know you? Like they know you if it wasn't for Barstools, people would not have heard.
Yeah.
Because then all we have is the games. And we're not on national. We're on ESPN 15 sometimes, which I told ESPN, if we're not on 1 or 2, don't even put us on.
Yeah, forget it.
We're good. Don't even put us on TV. We're good.
Yep.
We'll fend for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We broadcast those
because
games
I know
for
I got
you.
a camera.
Yeah,
because I know I got a camera.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Like if nothing else, we're gonna
I
still
got
be seen.
backup, yeah.
We're gonna be seen, and that threatens people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that threatens them like heck, and I love it. I love it. Ain't no fun when we have a gun too.
Yeah, that's right. For people who don't have a Deion Sanders in their life, what's your advice to them to grow their character, come out a man or a woman or whatever? Like,
you got to find something to either read, to either listen to either visualize and see something that's nothing but positivity and something that you could relate to. Like if different people on the staff have said, well, how do you read the Bible? Because it's Taoist deists. I say, and you know they got like 15 translations. Now they got a Message Bible, they got a Living Bible. It talks to you like you talk. Now, it don't talk slang, but it talks close to that. But you got to find something that you can relate to, that's uplifting you. Because if you don't put something inside of you and everything is going out of you, you're going to be depleted, and you're going to have insufficient funds. Is what I say. You got to put some money.
Yeah, you
got
to put money in the bank.
Yes, because if not, in the way we run, you run all day.
Yeah.
I run all day.
Yeah.
If you don't put nothing in, baby.
Yeah, there's nothing coming out. It's just
nothing coming out. And then you're going to erupt and you're going to blow up, and somebody's going to walk in here and they're going to get cussed out and they're going to walk back out sad. Now you're going to have to go back and apologize to for what transpired. But they didn't understand. They should have seen. You don't have on your door where the gas tank is.
Yeah, that's right.
So they don't know. Like if they knew you were almost empty,
they'd be
like,
I'll come back later.
I'll come back later. But we got to understand when we're at that point. See, they know in the morning, like they know me now. Don't bother me in the morning.
Are you not a morning person?
I'm a morning person, but that's when I spend time with the Lord.
Okay, yeah, you're like.
That's when I'm filling my tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't bother me until I come initiate the conversation.
Okay, got it.
Because in the morning, I'm good.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8, that's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm ready to go. But they know once I work out, once I get off the stepper, once I sit down in the seat, now here comes Sam with a bag of things.
What do you have for breakfast?
That's the spot. 3 egg white scrambled, grits, turkey bacon, probably toast, 1 pancake.
And morning. Coffee.
And several coffees.
Yeah, all day long coffee.
Yeah, all day
You're
long
still
coffee.
Rocking the coffee at lunch. Yeah, I know how you roll.
I'm consistent as they come.
Every day that.
Every day.
I think you're also just such a great example. You know what else I like about you is I just feel like I got to sit up a little straighter and have my shit together. Like, you can't show up and ramble with Deion without a plan. Oh, yeah. And I like that.
They laugh at me because they know during the game, it's 60,000 in the stadium. We got, 70 on the sideline, kids. Then we got probably another 30. And I see everything.
Yeah.
Like, I would spot someone.
You're like, that guy's shirt isn't tucked in and I don't like it. Yeah.
There you go. It's like, why is this guy here? Well, he's with the camera crew, but he doesn't have a camra.
Yeah.
Get him
What's
off the
he doing?
sideline.
Yeah.
So now he's disrupting the order and the structure because I got to have order and structure.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't have anything unstructured.
Yeah.
That's just the way my life consists. And I got to have order and structure.
I think it's because you have such blinding energy that you need efficiency. Your energy, if you have inertia around, it actually drains you.
What is inertia? I never heard that before.
Like, if people just don't move, you're like this.
Yeah.
You always were. Like, down the field, you're like this.
Yeah.
And things that just stick, like...
Idle things.
Idle things bother you, I think. They bother me too. They make me nervous.
Things unfixed bothers me.
Things unfixed, idle things, negative things.
Disruptive things.
Just fact.
Oh my God, you are on it.
Don't you think?
She is preaching to me right now.
I think that's who you are.
That is exactly who I am. And the thing about it, by the time I get there, I've already thought of everything. And see, Sam had to learn how to package it different.
Yeah.
You can present me what you're going to present me. Put it in a different package.
100%.
Because when
put
you
it
put
in the
it
way
in
I
the
can
package,
hear it.
when you put it in the package that you was putting it in, I'm not hearing you. I want you to leave. I'm already thinking about your period coming on, like the end of the sentence, meaning the period coming on.
Not
and
my period.
You go. Yeah, right. That's on my mind. I'm very visual. I'm like, go. But he understands how to present it and the timing of it and the game plan and what we're trying to accomplish. So my group, you got to understand how this looks now. But I don't care. It's like I'm at Jackson State and my group of people that are around me really close are white.
Yeah.
You don't think they're saying something about that, but I don't give a darn.
You're like, I just want the right people for me.
I'm not fighting you about ethnicity. I'm fighting you about who's going to do the job.
Yeah, that's
not saying that an African American can't.
Yeah.
Cool. If that's the timing, if that's what God wants, cool. But right now, this is what it is.
Totally.
And I'm happy.
I actually love that. Like, we ran through that when you first came on. We were really sensitive that we have only Black people on your stuff. And because we wanted to do a better job and we wanted to be...
I wanted the job right.
And you
not
were
the
like, what the
right.
fuck? No, you didn't say fuck because you didn't swear. I said that. But you were like, what are you doing? Just give me the best social person.
Give me the best person.
We were delaying doing the right thing for Deion, for you, by being like, we have to fit a mold. And that's actually what I think is wrong in the world, is like, let's give as many people the opportunity as possible. Let's mash things up. Let's look for things in different places. But it's, it's kind of like we found Wallow and Gilly, and then Wallow and Gilly found us to you, or brought us to you.
That's why I want the NFL, how we handle this problem with African-American hiring, that's why I want them to mandated 3 black owners. Because now I want to see who they hire.
Yeah.
But let's do that.
Yeah.
Because now we're going to see
Yeah.
if it's going to be just black and black, or if it's going to be the best man for the job.
And it's going to be all matched up.
Yeah, but I want to just give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Have you told them that?
Yes. I've told them that vocally. I don't have to call them and tell them. I just put it out there.
You just say it.
Yeah. And
You're
then
just going to manifest it. It's what you're going to do.
It catches fire.
But that's exactly right.
Do that. Then you get to see. Because we just hired an African-American GM in Minnesota. He didn't hire an African-American head coach.
Yeah.
So it's not about the color at that aspect. It's about who's best for the job.
Right.
But you can't tell a billionaire who to hire.
Yeah, that's right. That's like
you can't tell me who to have my housekeeper. What color is my housekeeper? You can't tell me what color is my gardener.
You're like, I want to
I just want somebody, and I understand we 75% African Americans in the league, and we got to do better. Where we really need to be doing better is college. College football is making just as much money as the NFL. College football makes more money than the NBA as well as Major League Baseball. NFL makes more money than Major League Baseball and football together. So it's a machine.
Wow.
It's a darn machine.
That's amazing.
So when you jump out there like we're doing and disrupting things, you're taking money out that pie for those colleges, and sooner or later they're going to have to deal with you.
That's right. That's right. That's super interesting.
Yeah, then I'm going to sit in here and say, what we going to do, baby?
Yeah.
Because it's coming. They coming. They coming negatively, or they coming to secure you.
That's right. Shut you down.
Yeah.
You had a lot of adversity this season.
Oh my God.
How did you overcome it?
Let me tell you the downside of it. It's the first time in my life that I had to depend on somebody other than God. Like, I'm not built for you to come and get me out of bed.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not built for you to come and take me to the toilet, to get me off the toilet, to put me back in the bed, to pick me up out of bed, to pick me up out of the car, to take me in the car. I mean, I'm talking about, I'm breaking down like, God, I can't keep doing this. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not the promise. I mean, it was like that intense because I've never had to do that and be dependent on man.
Yeah, you don't have any skills for that.
Oh my God, that was the toughest thing emotionally, mentally, psychologically that I had to deal with. But dealing with what I'm dealing with even right now, I know it was going to be something because there's no way you could do what you've done for Barstools and you're not going to be up on the attack.
100%.
So
yeah.
Don't ever think that God bless me, give me this opportunity. Okay, you get it. But the same level of that is going to be the same level of this.
Yes, that's right.
So believe if you're going to be here.
Yeah, you're going to be down here
You're going to be here too.
Yeah, that's right.
So life is always going to be balanced. You're never going to be up here and it's going to look too well right now. Don't worry about it, baby. It's coming. It's coming.
That's right.
And it usually comes when you're at the level that we feel like we're at. And anybody's level. It's going to come seasonal. You're going to get about one attack a season. But you're going to have to weather the storm and keep on going. And my attack was just as tremendous as my darn successes was.
That's right.
So when you sit up there, you're enhancing lives. So why do you think I'm going to have life-threatening?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so that's what it was.
Yep.
That's what it was. And I think it was 8 surgeries in less than a month. Then we added another surgery at the end because my foot would start bleeding. And just the uncertainty of, is tomorrow going to be there for you?
Yep.
That was tough.
Yeah.
And it was tougher on my kids than anything.
Yeah.
Because they've never seen daddy down.
Well, they probably never saw you like that.
They've never seen daddy down. They've never seen daddy weak. They've never seen daddy not be in control.
Yep.
So the emotions that clips were shown all over the country when Shador brought us back against Southern, stood a touchdown. He embraced me. Shallow got the game-winning interception, clinching interception. But that embrace was about daddy hadn't been there.
Yeah.
That was the first time in my life that I missed a game of his. I've coached him his whole life.
You've never not been there.
Never not been there for him. And he came to the hospital prior to that and said, I need you back. So I locked in everything.
Yep.
I gotta get back. I got to get back this weekend. I got to get back. And when I told him, I'm going to the game, whether y'all like it or not, I'm going to the game.
Yeah.
So I'm in a chair.
Yeah, it didn't matter. You could have like a hot air balloon.
Oh, it was cold. I had no business being on the sideline, but they forgot that my son said, I need you back.
There.
And that was one of the most beautiful moments in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel changed from the experience?
Yes. Yes.
In good ways or bad ways?
In
or
wonderful ways. Always good ways. But I'm more appreciative of life. The first day I got out, I was like, just sit me outside. I just need to hear the wind and hear birds. And I miss that. I've been in the hospital for a month.
Yeah.
I haven't been outside. At one point, I was asleep for 22 hours a day, like for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
On meds. The Dilaudid. I never forget that. Dilaudid. Oh, my God.
Just out to lunch? Was he out to lunch?
Oh, Dilaudid. Oh, I see how people get hooked. I've never done drugs in my life. Never been drank.
Well, now you have.
Let me tell you something. I see why people get hooked. My detoxing was unbelievable.
Really?
Oh, my God. Like, after I got out, I would sweat up T-shirts at night. They were soaking wet because I was so hooked on drugs and my body was going through that detox. I was sweating and shaking. And, like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah. Where is
But
the
I was
control?
hooked. I was hooked. Where's that bottle of pills? I was in so much pain. I had to sleep only on my back. It was bad. Looking down at the edge of looking down to the end of the bed. I think Dana Beers captured that. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough when you've been this type of athlete your whole life.
Well,
and you look down there and
one
you
of
say,
the most beautiful runners
how am
ever.
I going to walk?
Yeah.
You start thinking about, how am I going to walk?
Was it humbling?
Oh, my God. Yes. Yes, very much so. It was tough because I'd never been through something that traumatic.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because it was mentally just.
But don't you think that to your earlier point, like you've had Deion Sanders size victory and you had a Deion Sanders size problem. Like I'd be kind of disappointed if you didn't have a Deion Sanders size problem. You know what I mean?
But I didn't know it was going to be an attack on the life in the body. And I've had several surgeries in sports. I don't think I've ever spent the night in the hospital.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you look like you've missed a beat.
Well, now
You're
I was
back.
probably 160 pounds at the point. I lost like 35, 40 pounds during the process because I couldn't eat, didn't eat.
Well, you're just
Thank
wearing
God we got a
shell
yogurt
little
deal because I
bit.
did eat yogurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yogurt and
It's amazing.
applesauce.
All right. Well, we love you.
Well, I
love
appreciate you, baby.
You're so
I
inspiring.
appreciate you.
Don't you
I
hear anything
appreciate
more
you. That's the
inspiring
boss
now?
lady.
Oh, shoot. Deion, I have a job to do
Okay,
here.
let's
Sorry.
do it. Let's do it.
All right, we kind of covered this. First 30 minutes of your morning.
I wake right up. I got to tell you this because this is good too. Now, since I was in the hospital, I couldn't walk. So they gave me like a little jug to pee in. And now I'm locked in on it.
Oh,
I
you can only pee in the jug?
Yeah, I can't go back.
You love it.
I can't get up and go back. But the problem is I fill up like two little jugs.
I bet you piss like a racehorse.
Oh my God.
Like a racehorse.
Yes, but I'm so spoiled with the jugs now, I'm not getting
How
up.
many jugs do you own?
Two.
Did you tell the PMT guys this?
No, I forgot it.
Oh,
I forgot.
God. Do
forgot
not
that.
tell Big Cat
forgot.
about that. He will get himself a jug, and then there'll be like a pile of jugs out there.
So that's the first thing I do
Okay.
in the morning.
Pee in the jug. Love
Mm-hmm.
it. What's something you do every day without fail? I feel like you do a lot of things. You're quite regimented.
Every day without fail, I pray.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Any other things?
Without fail, I eat breakfast.
Yep.
I'm a breakfast guy. I'm going to be full. When I get to heaven, I'm going to make sure I'm full.
Yeah, as you
'Cause
should.
I don't know what
you
the
don't know
day
what you
is
need.
gonna
Yeah,
entail. I don't know
100%.
what's
You don't know
gonna-
if you're going to get in or you're not going to get in.
Because a lot of people I want to
like-
meet in heaven, I want to
You're
go.
gonna be very busy.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy.
We are going to be efficient in heaven
There you go.
as in life.
There you go.
That's right. What's something that surprised you this week?
Something that surprised me this week is we're not in shape as a team. Made me mad. We're not in shape right now, and I got really upset.
Like I'm
Because we
pissed
do
off
drills in the morning, that conditioning thing, and when I'm not there, something. Now when I'm there, I don't
you're like,
want to see
what
the
we
difference.
doing?
Yeah. So I guess we hadn't been doing nothing since I was gone.
Okay, so now we back.
Now we're back.
Now we back.
And I made them double down on everything.
Oh, shit,
the other
double
day.
sessions?
Yeah, so they got, they got upset. But they're
Well,
not
that's
upset.
okay. They got to get faster.
Yeah. You got to be
Stronger,
more
faster.
conditioned. Yes.
Bigger hearts. Mm-hmm. See, it's all about heart, you know?
Yes, Lord.
All right, what gives you hope right now?
What gives me hope right now is the knowing that change is inevitable. It's inevitable. So I might as well be on the right side of it. Mm-hmm. This is inevitable.
And leading it.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. Yep.
That gives me tremendous hope that we're walking in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, and that you're helping control where we go.
That's right.
In your own way. I love that. What is a brand or business that you would invest in today?
First thing I thought in my mind, I'm serious, I got to be honest, it was condoms.
Okay.
That's the first thing I thought of my mind.
Well, you're on a college campus.
Because I'm dealing with it every day.
Yeah, I believe
Guys,
that. We
and
should
these
have
girls,
condoms in this office.
I'm telling you.
College kids are having a lot of sex.
Oh, a lot of it.
They are.
No, a lot of it. A lot of it. And I'm trying to protect these young men and these young women.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you, that's tremendous. But what else would it be?
Well, why hasn't there been like a new D2C condom brand?
It should be. It should be called Prime.
Well, why don't you do that? We could help you do that.
Prime.
Prime would be a great condom
Prime
brand.
would be a great. I already got the pitch too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can help you with that.
Yes.
All right, Deion, on that note, I'm looking forward to being in the condom business with you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I love you.
Like all the ladies.
I know, it's all just
the
only girls.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, I love you guys.
This is awesome. This has been
So
good.
great. Thank
I
you.
need more of these.
I know, right?
You stimulate thought.
Okay, so check out the last 2 episodes of Coach Prime. They're presented by our partners at Chevy, so please support the Chevy Silverado. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Coach Prime returns, plays at 8 p.m. on BarstoolSports.com. Barstool Sports is YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, and our Sling TV channel. All right, so wood. So I have wood in my shower. I don't know if anyone else here has wood in their shower. I've heard it's budget to use a 2-in-1 shampoo. I highly disagree with that. I love the body wash. I'm big into the deodorant. I can never find a deodorant that works, but Wood works. So Wood is the latest grooming brand from Barstool Sports. You can only find it at CVS. So I challenge anyone listening to this, whether you're a guy or a girl, to choose your favorite scent, go to your CVS, take a picture for me of Wood in your CVS and tag us, and we'll retweet you and re-promote you on that. I'm also curious about the merchandising in your local CVS. Everybody knows I have a thing with the smell of CVS's. So if you can go to CVS, take a video, tell us where Wood is or isn't, we'll retweet you and we'll re-promote you. And then just if you go to getwood.com or you go to your local CVS, you can get Wood for yourself. So we're doing close of business. We're going to wrap up this episode. We've got Bryn coming on. Hit me, Bryn.
When the sports bra opens in Portland in April, it might be the only women's sports bar in the world. So it's a sports bar that plays primarily women's sports.
Where is it opening?
Portland.
Maine?
Oregon.
There's a sports bar only for women playing in Portland, Oregon.
It's called a sports bra, and the idea came from the fact that they went to all these sports bars. It was very like men focused, men's sports. They always had to ask to put on women's sports. This bar will like only play women's sports.
Disaster. The name is dumb. I don't think anyone is going to that.
Right.
2 is, can't we just like watch sports, men and women? I think that seems like a nice gimmick, and that place will be out of business in like 6 months.
Okay. Apple gives Siri a less gendered voice.
So Siri isn't a woman anymore?
You can have options now.
I think options are great.
This is my favorite. AMC may sell you popcorn outside of movie theaters.
Where?
Retail.
Ew. Oh my God. I mean.
Just stop there.
Okay.
I do want your opinion on this. TikTok bumps up max video length to 10 minutes.
What was it before?
It was a minute, or 3 minutes. It started off like 60 seconds, 3 minutes. Are they becoming YouTube?
That's interesting. I still think most people will keep it under a minute because it's just the UI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it does show that they're going to compete with Facebook and with obviously more with Google.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Peloton tries to bounce back with new marketing push. Campaign highlights formerly skeptical members.
Okay. First of all, I can't even imagine how much money Peloton has spent on this campaign. None of you read the New York Times, so I'm not even going to bother with this. But if you read the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, every page has a Peloton ad.
They're always in the news too.
Look, I love Peloton. Like, I love Peloton classes. I think the product is amazing. It's interesting that they're choosing print as the vehicle for advertising. It's kind of like they're running the old school playbook of like, remember when Facebook, nobody trusted Facebook and Facebook took out a bunch of print ads? It's like the nobody trusts us ad campaign. You know what I mean? And then it's also like it's targeting print, which is on one hand thought leadership, but it's becoming such a small esoteric circle. It also shows you who Peloton is courting. And to be honest with you, I think most of those people have a Peloton.
Right.
So for me, the question is like, how do we get you guys to use Peloton? If they really focused on the app and just the strength classes, stretching classes, yoga classes, Emma Lovewell. I love Emma Lovewell. I take like an abs class from her every day.
Really?
You wouldn't know it, but that's it for today's episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review, watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe.
We love when people subscribe on YouTube. You can DM us video questions on any platform. You can watch this episode along with many others on YouTube. You can shop our merch at store.barstoolsports.com. You can go to our job board, which is worklikeagirl.com. And then if you haven't already, you can join our Token CEO Facebook group. I'm at Erika on Instagram or at Erika_ on Twitter. And Token CEO is on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we'll see you next Thursday.